Hi, everybody. It's Kira from The Move. So today I'll be talking to you all about a possible reading for this month's challenge. This month, of course, being Women's History Month, among many things. So today we'll just be chatting it up. We'll go through it nice and smooth and we'll have a good time. Now, I will say I'm so sorry about how things may be looking or laid out. I've really tried my best to make this the most aesthetically pleasing presentation, but some unforeseen misfortune have come upon us. So please bear with me today. I will try my best to make this clean cut and concise. So before we start, you know we love our house rules here at The Move. So before we begin, I want to ask of the audience, can we be vulnerable? Can we be honest? And can we be receptive? Some of these ideas may seem or are idealistic or out there. But remember, here at The Move, we really want to reimagine the world that we live in. So if you find yourself judging an idea or an assumed idea, I want you to remember the oppressive systems that we live under and think about how they may be fueling that judgment, or just set it aside for further reflection. Of course, I may be slightly biased, but I understand the ways that I have felt love, have felt happiness, and I have felt empowered in this life. And I would be so honored to share that with you all today. So I'm not here to be combative or to be dismissive. I'm just here to spread love. Of course, if you have any questions, concerns, suggestions, or you just want to chat it up, hit us up on Instagram or the email. And this, of course, will be listed below as well. If you see me looking to my left, I'm just looking at a couple of notes, so please bear with me. So Audre Lorde will be our main focus of today's discussion. Audre Lorde, born February 18th, 1934, died November 17th, 1992. So from the Poetry Foundation, Audre Lorde, a self-described Black, lesbian, mother, warrior, poet. Audre Lorde dedicated her life and her creative talent to confronting and addressing injustices of racism, sexism, classism, and homophobia. From Audre Lorde. I used to speak in poetry. I would write poems and I would memorize them. People would say, "Well, what do you think, Audre? What happened to you yesterday?" And I would recite a poem, and somewhere in that poem would be a line or a feeling I would be sharing. In other words, I literally communicated through poetry. And when I couldn't find the poems to express the things I was feeling, that's what started me writing poetry. And that was when I was 12 or 13. Some other works by Audre Lorde, Zami, A New Spelling of My Name, The Cancer Journals, and that listed on the slide, Sister Outsider. And a mantra I would love for us to move through this discussion with, through Women's History Month with, and throughout life, honestly, is your silence will not protect you. So the text that we'll be pulling from is an anthology titled Black Women Writers on Love, Sex, and Men, Love, Men, and Sex. This is an anthology, and a specific essay that we will be looking at is Uses of the Erotic. The Erotic is Power by Audre Lorde. So I've pulled out a couple of quotes for reflection. And of course, I urge you to read and or listen to the full text, which will be linked below. So we'll just go over some quotes. And of course, if you would like to write down some notes, please feel free to. So the first quote, "The erotic is a resource within each of us that lies in a deeply female and spiritual plane, firmly rooted in the power of our unexpressed or unrecognized feeling. The very word erotic comes from the Greek word eros, the personification of love in all its aspects, born of chaos and personifying creative power and harmony." So what's the point? I want us to think for a second. We all possess that which is feminine and masculine, whether that be on the physical, the spiritual, or the developmental level. The feminine, of course, being the creative or the yes within each of us that seeks desire and love. So like anything, we have to find the balance between that which is irrational and rational. It is important to nourish all that we are, or things will not properly function. So for example, when we look at a car, the steering wheel acts as a function of control for the tires, which without the steering wheel will move sporadically and it will ultimately be dangerous. Alternatively, without the tires, the car will not move at all. Our next quote: the internal requirement toward excellence, which we learn from the erotic, must not be misconstrued as demanding the impossible from ourselves or from others. Such a demand incapacitates everyone in the process, for the erotic is not a question only of what we do. It is a question of how acutely and fully we can feel in the doing. For once we know the extent to which we are capable of feeling that sense of satisfaction and fullness and completion, we can then observe which of our various life endeavors brings us closest to that fullness. And this is a grave responsibility, projected from within each of us, not to settle for the convenient, the shoddy, the conventionally expected, or the merely safe. So it's kind of that once you know, you know. Once we understand that we all deserve and owe it to ourselves to desire and accomplish the best of the best, our personal best, we know. And that's what we almost can innately strive towards. And I want us to think that these ideas exist in our culture naturally. For example, pulling oneself up from the bootstraps. Now, I do not want to glorify this quote, but it does exist in American culture. We also have, and this is throughout the world, wanting the best for generations to come, or carrying the torch in honor of those who have come before us. But I wanted to think, although these ideas exist, have we been healthily exercising them? Are we kind of straining ourselves to, again, go for that which is conventionally expected? Why not give ourselves a chance to imagine something new, to make steps to create that image, and to use the power within us to do something that we love, and of course, for others around us, things that we love for ourselves and for those around us. So when we honor and when we care for ourselves, it will inherently spread to those around us. So some examples of women warriors who sacrificed the conventional, not only for their nation, but for those to come. So from Live Science, one being Fu Hao. Fu Hao is the earliest known female general of the Shang dynasty. Fu Hao lived about 3,000 years ago during China's Bronze Age, according to a biography published in 2002 in Woman in World History, a biographical encyclopedia. Archaeologists learned even more about Fu Hao's military rank and prowess when they unearthed her tomb near Anyang, China in 1976. More than 100 weapons were found buried in her tomb, confirming her status as a high-ranking military leader, according to the British Museum. So Fu Hao is on the right. On the left, from Witwilkazi Queens, Nandi Ka Bhebhe, Queen Mother of the South and Mother of Shaka Zulu. Queen Mother was judged and discarded for her illegitimate son. Nandi never lost hope in life. She was resilient, she never succumbed to pressure, and she knew her worth. She instilled these values into her son, shaping him into one of the greatest leaders we have had. Nandi always reminded her son that despite his circumstances, he would one day be the greatest king. She did her best despite all the adversity she encountered along the way. Shaka ascended to power, and this also meant Nandi would be the queen mother. Effectively, Nandi became the highest decision maker in the land because Shaka's decisions were vetted with the queen mother. All major military and political achievements were accomplished with Nandi as chief advisor to the King of Kings. So the last quote: For not only do we touch our most profoundly creative source, but we do that which is female and self-affirming in the face of a racist, patriarchal, and anti-erotic society. So the systems of patriarchy, over-sexualization, racism, classism, etc., reduce our inner power, the erotic, to a means of external consumption, submission, and false pleasure. The erotic for everyone is a source of self-empowerment. We have had no say in the systems that we live under, but we do have that internal power that we can utilize. So what is our call to action? So again, it is Women's History Month. The Move is having a challenge where we would love for you to read one thing or a couple of things by any women writer. Please visit our Instagram for more details. We would love to hear what you all are reading. And the link to the audio and the text for the uses of the erotic essay will be below. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and keep up with us. Keep up with the move. We would love to have you. We would love to bring you into our community. And we, of course, love to chat. What are you all doing? We'd love to hear about it. So these are our resources, and those will be linked. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video.